member for Mackellar and Northern Beaches. Local Minister Jason Falinski joins us now from Collaroy in Sydney. Good morning to you. I understand you've been in contact with health officials. What are you hearing, and are you bracing for another jump in numbers today?
Thanks, Beck. Yes, we are bracing for another jump in numbers today. Given that's what you would expect, though, given the number of tests that they did yesterday. At the moment, I think we can feel some level of comfort because all the known cases are directly related to the Avalon RSL and the Avalon Bowling Club. So there is some hope, and we'll have to wait until 11 o'clock, that this cluster is being contained at the moment. But I think your introduction is right. We're in the countdown to save Christmas.
Yeah. Jason, what's the mood like there on the Northern Beaches? There's some really small, quaint communities where everybody sort of knows everybody, which is perhaps a bad thing in this situation.
Well, yes, Beck. Look, I think the prevailing mood is absolute shock. Even during the height of the pandemic, there wasn't a lot of people on the Northern Beaches who tested positive for COVID. So for this outbreak to occur, especially in Avalon, which is, as you say, a rather tight-knit community that feels somewhat isolated from the rest of Sydney, is an absolute shock for them. But the community is a very resilient one, and you've seen that in people's willingness to line up for 3 or 4 hours to get tested, not necessarily for themselves, but often for loved ones, and to help get this cluster under control. So I'd say the prevailing mood is one of resilience, but underlying that is a great deal of shock.
Jason, residents have been told to stay home for 3 days to help contain this outbreak, and I'm seeing pictures that shop owners and retailers are essentially putting themselves in lockdown, closing up, saying, sorry, we're closed. Are people generally following the rules?
Look, yesterday morning I had to go to the chemist to get some medicine. My observation was already by then, before really any statement had been made about masks, people were voluntarily wearing masks. In fact, the overwhelming majority of people were doing that. So the community is very aware that it is on us to voluntarily comply, do all that we can, because we know this is so close to Christmas and we want to make sure that we get out of this before Christmas. So I think what we're seeing around certainly the beaches is people staying positive and hoping to test negative.
I mean, the New South Wales contact tracers have been pretty much the envy of the country, been talked about as the gold standard. Do you have complete confidence in them that they'll be able to nip this in the bud?
I do. I mean, when you look at some of the other outbreaks we've had in New South Wales, such as Crossroads, this is on that trajectory. I mean, this isn't just the gold standard in Australia. The Biden transition team has reached out to the New South Wales Department of Health to find out how they're doing it and how they can apply those systems to the United States. So this is a global gold standard that we're dealing with here. It has worked incredibly well, and I think everyone on the beaches has a lot of faith that they'll be able to get this under control very quickly. You can see that just simply in the testing. I mean, within 24 hours, we went from having 2 testing sites to having 8. 2 of them were 24 hours. The Avalon testing site yesterday, the wait time was down to 15 minutes by the afternoon. So, I mean, that is a gold standard no matter where you are in the world.
Agreed. Jason Falinski, we wish you the very, very best of luck, because not only does it affect the Northern Beaches, of course, it affects everybody's plans right across Australia in the